Just how to make a template, just to show you how to make one from scratch. You can certainly go to a previous drawing you've done that you know has all the layers and line types and text styles and dimension styles loaded, but I figured just to show you how to make it from scratch, I'll just do it that way. So I'm going to go to No Template Imperial, start a new drawing, and the first thing you're going to do is create all of your layers that you want. All right, so here are the layers I just set up. These are the typical layers you might use in a template, and I made sure I set up construction and viewport layer to non-print. I set up a dimension layer, a center layer, hidden layer, object layer, and a phantom layer. Set up some colors I like, and then made sure I loaded the line types. So you remember you load line types by just clicking on the layer. Looks like I've got something else going on here. Yeah, I got a text. I had a section box going on, and then just load those line types. Remember that you're loading line types in an imperial drawing from ACAD LIN file, and then when we do a template for metric, it should be ACAD ISO LIN, which should automatically happen if you started the drawing correctly in metric template. So now we have our layers. The other thing you're going to want to do is create a dimension style. So let's create a new dimension style. Call this mechanical imperial. And your dimension style should have the same settings that are in the screen captures for Mod 5. So that's these settings here. And explanations for these can be seen in Mod 5 too. So in the text, I want to create a new text style. Because I'm using Roman S, I've got my initials first and then Roman S. Roman S font. Leave this height 0 so that you can change the height here in the dimension style. So that should be now available for me to select in the dimension style. Set the text to 1/8 of an inch. Set your text placement so that you have clearance around your text to about 0.04 or smaller if you are finding it hard to fit the dimensions in between the extension lines. Push the arrows out first before anything else, and then set your primary units to the correct number of decimal places. Usually with imperial drawings it will be 2 decimal places, and then you do want to suppress your leading zeros. So let's go ahead and make another variation of this for radius dimensions. And all this is stuff you guys have done before. So, it's nothing new. It's just a matter of, I just decided to start it from scratch. But you could certainly go and open up a drawing that you've already done all these settings and then just save it as a template file and make sure you erase the geometry, which is essentially, I'm just building it from scratch is what I'm doing. All right, so now I've got my dimension style, I've got my text style, and the last things that you want to set up are your layouts. So I'm going to go into Page Setup Manager and set up the first sheet as an A-size sheet. To go to High Quality PDF, I want Full Bleed A, I want Monochrome. And I'll bring in my A-size title block. The title blocks, by the way, if you don't have them downloaded onto your personal computers yet at home, all you've got to do is go to the portal page. Here it is. Whoops. Right on the course content page at the very beginning, I have given you access to the entire content of the R drive that we used for the AED 105 class, and then the general folder where we keep the title blocks, but I've also downloaded just the title blocks here so you don't have to even go hunting for them here. Just click on this and download it to your machine by picking a file location here that makes sense. So for instance, I created a a folder for support files, or if you wanted to create a 105 folder and then inside it create a templates folder and a title block folder, you can just save that stuff here and then you just insert it. So I already had mine downloaded, so I just inserted them from the location I have them on my computer. This should be on the viewport layer, and then you're going to fill out the title block. For layout 2, let's rename this too. If you right click on layout 1 and choose rename, we can call this A size. So I know that's set up for an A size sheet of paper. Go to layout 2, right click in page setup manager, modify, have it go to the same high quality print, but change this to ANSI full bleed B, monochrome. All those 3 settings you got to do. That will change your sheet size. We'll move the viewport up and put it on the viewport layer. And this time I want to bring in my B size title block. And then you can expand your viewport to fill in that space. So let's rename layout 2, B size. So now I've basically got all the things that we would normally want in a new drawing. To start a new drawing, I might want to be in layout space here before I close this down. So I'm ready to make this into a template file. So I'm going to do a save as and make sure the files of type are set to DWT. And then I want to browse for a good location to put those. So I've got a templates file that I've created in my AEDD 105 folder on my local computer. So this is really living here in this documents folder under SMCC AED 105 10501. And so you could have something similar set up with your computer at home. Go into templates, and this should be set up as my initials, imperial.dwt. You don't need to put in a description, and then this turns into a DWT file. Now if you close this, let's see how this template file works. We want to go to new, not open, and then you want to browse to the location you saved your template file. There's my template file. When I hit open, it opens as a brand new drawing, but it has all of the content in it, has the sheets set up. So all I have to do is start drawing, and I can go to the sheet that I need to set up the drawing file and then save it as a new drawing, and I move on to my next drawing. So that's how a template file works. You want to repeat that same process with metric, but you've got to start from scratch with metric, or grab a drawing that you've already done in metric format, like the rocker arm. You all did the rocker arm. You could start with that drawing file and then do a save it as a template, and then erase the rocker arm and add all the missing layers and make sure that your layouts are set up, and you'd be all set. Turn that into a template. And that's the concept.